Greetings, math students. Here's our Chapter 2 test. Please follow along carefully. I'll take good care of you. If you have a question during the test, then please ask. Number 1 and number 2, we simply want to sketch the next picture and the pattern. So I want to point out to you that look at where the circle's located here. Lower left, then the lower right, then the upper right, then the upper left. So what's the next picture going to look like? All right, so I would just draw a square like that, and then you put the circle where it would belong. In the second one, let's zoom in a little bit on this dude, a little bit easier to see. Okay, so we start out with the two triangles back to back. Then we have them back to back with two shaded. Kind of looks like a quesadilla or something from Taco Bell. Then they're going to add this part here to the outside. Then they add another two top and bottom. So what would go on the end of the next one? You need to draw that in. Okay, number 3 and 4, we got to talk about the pattern. All right, so you go from -6 to -1 to 4 to 9. What's changing? They're not really changing largely. I'm going to say maybe they're adding a number here, maybe. So what would the next number in the pattern be? I think they're just adding something there. And then number 4, same thing. We want to know the pattern. Things are changing, and I notice we see how we go positive, negative, positive, negative. That's kind of cluing me into, we're either multiplying or dividing by a number here. So I would think maybe dividing. So try to divide a number and see if you can get these numbers and figure out the next one. If you need help, let me know. Okay, guys, on the next two part here, 5 through 8, I only want you to do number 5 and number 8. Okay, and on each of these, we're going to write the if-then, the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. Okay? So now I'm going to kind of shrink this and move it off to the side here a second. And I want to remind you, remember, take that statement, and for the if-then, just make it if-then. Okay? Then the converse, remember, you see con, we simply want to flip the if-then. So flip the if-then. The inverse, we're going to add some form of no. So you're going to take the if-then. So take the if-then and add not. The word not, or does not, or is not, or could not, or no. Something that has to do with no. And then the contrapositive, con, again, it's telling us to flip. We're going to flip the inverse. So whatever you just wrote for the inverse, flip it. Flip the if-then. Okay? That's how you're going to do number 5 and number 8. Okay, number 9, we're using law of detachment here, okay? So they want us to make a concluding statement. So it says, if you go to the football game, then you will miss band practice. So tonight, you end up going to the football game. So what happened because you went to the football game? You need to write a statement as a conclusion, because it says, if you go to the game, you're going to miss band practice. Well, you end up going to the game. So what happened? That's number 9. Number 10, we're going to use syllogism. So we want to get rid of the part that's doubled up. So I'm going to highlight our parts. If Margaret goes to college, then she'll major in chemistry. If she majors in chemistry, then she'll need to buy a lab manual. Okay, so I highlighted the 4 sections. Get rid of what's being repeated and rewrite your conclusion with what's left. Okay, gang, 11, 12, and 13. We're going to use this picture over here at the right. And basically, you want to come up with like examples of the picture that support these definitions. So number 11 says a line contains at least 2 points. So just name a line on this picture that has 2 points on it. That's all you got to do. Number 12, a plane. Remember, a plane would be like the whole piece there. That contains at least 3 non-collinear points. So 3 points that are not on the same line. So which plane contains 3 non-collinear points? Shrink it down just a little bit. 3 non-collinear points. So what plane would that be? Just write the name of the plane. And number 13, if 2 planes intersect, their intersection is a line. So what's the line where plane Y and plane X intersect? Which line would that be? Name the line. Okay, 14, 15, 16. You're just solving an equation. Okay, so 14, you just want to solve for X, get him by himself. 15, remember to distribute first and then solve. And same way with 16, there's a little distributive property first. All right, and then solve for X. If you need a little guidance, let me know. 17, 18, 19, we are going to match these with the properties. So we have reflexive property, symmetry property, and transitive property. Now what I also want to add in here for you is, if you recall what I was writing for you guys a lot of times. So remember, reflexive property, that'd be like A equals A. Symmetry would be like A equals B and B equals A. Transitive property would be A equals B, B equals C, so A equals C. So take a look at that, pause it, and use that maybe as a guide to help you on 17, 18, 19. Okay, guys, number 20, we're using the picture right yonder. And we just want to know how many degrees each angle is. So remember vertical angles. Vertical angles are back to back. So we're going to solve for X, and we're going to solve for Y. So if I was going to do that, let me shrink this and kind of set it up for you. I would say 7y equals 5y plus 36. Okay, and I want you to solve from there. Solve for y. Once you solve for y, plugging back into this one, and it'll tell you actually how many degrees each one of these are, because they're equal. Okay, and then we need to solve for x. Okay, so I'm going to set it up as, again, they're vertical angles. Vertical angles are equal to one another. Like that. Solve for x, and again, plug him in to either one of these and figure out how many total degrees those angles are. Okay. 21, I think we were going to make bonus. So if you want to do the proof, make 2 columns, statements, reasons, and try it out. Give it your best. You might get a little something out of it. Okay, that's the end. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.